Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com. It's 5:15 on January 14th, 2014. It's Tuesday, and the markets rebounded today, but it's interesting where to. Before we take a look, I want to remind you that the website and the video are for educational purposes only, and nothing stated at the site or in the video is intended to be used as investment advice. I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research. And please, make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I am not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts. Let's take a look. I didn't getting ahead of myself. There we go. Looking at a 10-minute chart. I tell you what, let's make it a 15-minute. We came down in this descending wedge between these two red lines. Allow me to get rid of my moving average. That was from another study I was doing. We're going to get rid of a couple of these little internal lines too while I'm thinking about it, and we'll kill that as well. So we're in a descending wedge between these two red lines. Broke out of that, started this little lazy ascending wedge that broke down yesterday. We found some support at this level right here, which is very, very near the apex of this descending wedge. I actually was thinking we might come down a little lower, but instead we bounced here. But if you look at where we ended the day, you know exactly what's going to come out of my mouth. We ended the day on a back test of this ascending wedge line. If you look at this and you are a technical trader, you have to consider that this line will provide some resistance. That's just the way it usually works. So I would think of this line coming into tomorrow's session as resistance. Now the question is, are we going to work sideways a little bit and firm up as we have done so many times before? You know, we've had some pretty good little sell-offs and then we rebound. And I don't think this one necessarily will be any different. But I need to let you know, speaking from a technical analysis standpoint, that is a picture-perfect back test, and I think you've got to respect that the inclination going forward should be tomorrow for us to turn down from where we closed today. Now let me just say this real quick. By the way, extending that trend line right there, I know these peaks don't line up perfectly. Interesting to note how we have an apex that is right around where that high was set at the end of the year. So guys, I'm not saying that this is the end of the world by any stretch. This could be a pattern that is just going sideways a bit, and then we bust on up and we mount a new attack up into the mid 1800s, mid to high 1800s. But for right now, this should represent a challenge, shall we say, for the S&P to overcome this resistance line right here. And it's resistance because it used to be support. Support, once broken, tends to turn into resistance. So guys, it's just that simple for today. If you want a little, maybe let's pretend like maybe we get a surprising bit of strength tomorrow. And you know, the market does that. And this particular market has had a real penchant for doing that. Let's slap this little gray line up there right now over our last two peaks and see if maybe if we get over that line, then I think you can say, well, the selling's probably done. But for right now, nice day, up almost 20 points, but coming right back for a perfect back test of that broken wedge line. I will remind you that this is not a large pattern. If we back out and look at a 2-day chart, you even say, what pattern? So it's not like some really, really important big development here. I will say that as we look at the chart in a few weeks, there is a possibility that we may be looking at this area right here with some interest if we sell off a little deeper. But that's not happened yet, so there's no need to talk about it as if it's happened, because it hadn't happened. So if we do sell off tomorrow some, I would expect the same lines to serve as support. And as a matter of fact, this one right here just keeps coming up a little bit more. If this breaks, then we got some things to consider. But if it holds, then we may actually be just forming another consolidation pattern, going sideways a bit for the market to get a little breather before it mounts its next move up. So guys, there's your video for January 14th, 2014. Thanks for watching, and thank you for your support.